Hey everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be building a JavaScript extension for Voiceflow live. With this extension, you'll be able to take Voiceflow to the next level by creating advanced mini applications. Here's what's coming up. First, I'll demo an extension built for a real estate AI agent that lets users book a property viewing. Then, I'll walk you through the extension we're going to build today. Next, we'll dive into the live development process. You can follow every step from setup to a fully working extension. And finally, I'll share the extension code with you. So, if you're curious about how to supercharge your Voiceflow projects, stick around and let's get started. Okay, first the demo of the real estate extension. As you can see, there are multiple different properties to select in a nice grid. So if we select one, this one for example, it pops open with more information about the property. We can also scroll through the images and select another image. And as you can see, the images rotate and you can every time select a new image. Down below, you have a book a viewing, contact, or back to listings. When we go to contact, you see nice contact information from the sales rep. If you click on the button from WhatsApp, we are going to go to our WhatsApp URL and it opens the chat with the number of the sales rep. So now we go back, book a viewing. For this property, there are several options for the viewing. So let's see. Okay, Monday, we have some time slots. 11 o'clock is fine. Next, okay, fill in the details. Confirm my viewing. It's okay. Yeah, I like this one. Confirm, and it's confirmed, and as you can see, it outputs the information stored here in Voiceflow. Okay, so this was the demo, and we are now going to do something similar, but for an e-commerce store. Let me show you what we are going to build. This is a Dutch supplement store, and they have, in my opinion, a very nice website. I like the product page a lot. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a product page that's kind of similar to the product page they're building or having. So when I want to select this product, as you can see, there is like a nice video, some images, and some product information. So we are going to build the part over here. Before we start with the development, we're going to set up our GPT chat that's going to help us create extensions. So we're going to the Voiceflow docs for the extensions, scroll down, and then we see this script. We're going to select this script, copy it, go to GPT. Okay, so the prompt I'm going to create is, I want you to help me develop custom JavaScript extensions suited for Voiceflow. Below you find an example of an extension. This is the extension we found on the Voiceflow website. And all the way to the bottom, I added a different part. Is for some extensions, I want to include a payload from Voiceflow to the extension. And below is a code snippet to import the payload in the extension. And this is then the code snippet. This code snippet, I found this through my testing for myself. And this is the way how it always works with uploading a payload from Voiceflow to the extension. And in our case, we also want to do this because the information we are going to get is from Shopify. So, and the information we're going to get is product video, product images, product title, the price, and some descriptions. So we want to have a payload inside of this. Now let's go back to the website. We're going to make a screenshot of this. And now go back to GPT, add the extension. Okay, we're now in 4.0 because 4.0 can only supports attachments. To get this extension working, I've already created a test agent that gets information from Shopify. To do this, I suggest watching my other video that's explaining how to do a Voiceflow and connecting it to Shopify. This video also contains a free template. It's a total package of an AI agent for e-commerce. You can download it and use it for your own builds and use the function to get all the product information. So I'm going to go to my Voiceflow project, go to the transcripts. Okay, this is this output of my products. So let's copy all of this. Go back to GPT. Okay, now I wrote down what I want to create. So this is what I explained to you guys. So we want to create a product page extension, like the attached screenshot. And then the main block is going to be the video. I specified MP4 format. And I know in the URLs that I want the 1080p because that's the highest resolution. And the other two blocks are going to be the images. And then on the right side of the extension, I want the product title, product description, and the price of the product. And then I told the AI that below you have the response. So I copied the whole response down here. And I also told it that the response will be input via the payload in of a specific variable. And this is needed because then we can really use it in Voiceflow. So we store this information in this variable over here, and then we can put it in the custom action. But I will show you this later down the line. Okay, so now we're going to click on send and wait for the response of the AI. Okay, this is the code we got. So let's copy it. Now we're going to go to our code editor. Make sure your new file is JavaScript. So we paste it in. Then, just to be sure, I'm going to make these the same name. So this is the name you want to use in the import of your script. This name is important because it's going to be input in the custom action inside of Voiceflow. And this will be the variable we are going to use as our payload data. So let's go to the Voiceflow workflow. Okay, we are at the workflow. Let's add a custom action. We go to dev, then custom action, drag it in. Okay, connect it. And we click on this one. Then we go back to the code. So we are using this. Okay, select. Paste it in. Then we have the action body, and let's go back again. Okay. Now you need to use the variable that contains all the Shopify data. Okay, make sure this is correct. It is. Okay, now let's select the stop on action. What this does, this enables the fact that when the chat is running and it's loading this custom action, it doesn't move. It only moves when a customer clicks on a button that does something or chats in the chat and then it does something. When we don't select this, the function, like the chat will move on and the function will go up in the flow. So you want to always to make sure if somebody needs to do something in your custom action, make sure to toggle this one. That's important. Okay, now we're going to connect the JavaScript file to Voiceflow, and I'm going to upload my file first to GitHub. So you can do the same, or you can upload it to somewhere else where you can get a direct URL that connects directly to the JavaScript. It's up to you, but I'm going to use the GitHub. I've uploaded the extension to GitHub. I chose this as name. The name ends with a version. Why? Because I noticed that it will take a few hours for GitHub to update the code when you just want to update one code basically. So what I do is to speed this up, I will change the versions, and this version will go to like 2, for example, and then I can edit it in my code and then it immediately loads the correct one. So this is a little time saver, and yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can upload it the same way or do it in one file. Okay, this will be the script for Voiceflow. At first we're going to import the page extension, and this will be the URL we chose, where the JavaScript is hosted. Then down here you need to allow dangerous HTML, and also we're going to load the extension inside of Voiceflow. So this is the script we use. We're going to copy this one. Then I'm going to go to Shopify. You go to online store themes, edit code. You will find the theme liquid. This is the main file of your template. This can change because every template builder can use its own name. So make sure to check first. But in the basic Shopify themes, it's always theme liquid. So we go all the way to the bottom, below this script. Paste it in, save. Then we have, we're going to go to the base CSS, and this, what we are going to paste here will be needed to show the block on the widget from Voiceflow in Shopify. Also, the base CSS can also change depending on the page or theme developer. So let's save it and let's see if it's working. Okay, it's not loading. Let's see what's going on. Okay, let's go back to the code. Maybe if I do okay, so now if I'm going to save this, what we're going to do is it should change to the other version. Okay, now it's working, so I changed the version and the export was not correct. And as you can see, now it's not doing anything. Let's get it. No, it's not. So back again. What's happening now? Okay, so the payload is not defined. Okay, I forgot to publish this agent, so please publish it. Go back to the store. I already tried, so this is working. Now it says not the correct data. Okay. Now let's debug again. Okay, so now I created like a debug variable, so to be sure that this is the correct output, and it is. So okay, let's move it. Okay, so now I removed the quotes over here to check if that's working. So we're going to publish it again and we run it, and then we get the next error message. So this has something to do with that it expects to be a string or something. So now the input is going to be a JSON file. Okay, the JSON is validated, that's correct, so nice. Okay, let it know what our Shopify payload is. Let's see what it's coming up with. So we've copied the new version, and now let's save it and upload this one. Now we're going to change the URL in the store, save, go back to the store, run again. Okay, now we have to run it again because it's not loaded correctly. This can happen because then the changing is a little bit too slow. Oh, yeah, I noticed what went wrong. I forgot this one to add this to GPT, so we have to do it again. Okay, I resolved the issue. as you can see now, the video and image are loading. The issue was that I made a typo in the extension. So yeah, it happens. That's it. But as you can see, it's too big. It's not nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to back to the Voiceflow extension, workflow, then to integrations and modify the interface. We create a popover because this is the bigger version, and then go back. Let's publish again. Okay, back to the store. Let's refresh. Now the pop-up is there. Okay, new chat. And this looks way better. So now we can see that everything is like there, but it doesn't look nice and just like the other at all. So yeah, we have to refine this and go back and forth on how to do this. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, at first I noticed that this one is already like playing, so without the need of pressing a button like we have to do. So this is like the first thing we should add. And also the other two images should be to the next side of the video. So let's start with this. Okay, for this model I'm going to switch over to O3 Mini because this one will be better in adjusting the code. It's handy that GPT-4o you can show images how you like it, but for some reason if you just tell O3 Mini, it will do a better job. So how I approach these things is, this is like a colleague that can do everything related to coding and text writing and stuff, but doesn't understand anything at all. So that's how I'm going to approach this. So let's GPT know what I want exactly. Okay, so I described exactly what I want, and let's see. Okay, so now what we wanted to adjust is correct. So yeah, this is nice, and it's also looping, so cool. But now the text is not correct, so let's adjust this. Okay, so now I also let know what I want to do. I basically said that I want the text to be like this, so it has to be next to the images with a nice, so that's readable and not like we have now. So yeah. Okay, the code is generated. Let's see what he has in store for us. Okay, now nothing went on, so this is not working. He did manage to make it wider, but it didn't do anything. So let's manually check what's going on. Okay, so using the inspector tool, like I did now, I added a width and just a random number so you know the difference. This is a very good way to just live check how to style your extensions. So as you can see, it's way better on this side, but now the whole Voiceflow widget is not big enough, so I enabled it to make it a little bit bigger. Or a little bit, it's like very much bigger. So this is getting to where we want it. Only now we have to figure out how to get it inside the widget we already have. Because if you need to adjust this one, you have to use like external styling, and we want to be sure it will work in each Voiceflow widget actually. So now I'm going to tell GPT what I did and what I found out, and let's see what kind of idea he has or what kind of solution he can come up with. Let's see what the solution of GPT is going to be. I explained exactly what I did. So yeah, okay, let's try out the new code. So now it removed the video, so yeah, that's not okay. So I'm not sure what happened here, but let's tell it. Nice, the video is back, but now the text is still not correct. So let's see if we can do it ourselves. Okay, now I adjusted some CSS. So what I did, I created or removed the width of 100% and the max width I set up 600. So as you can see, if you have 600, it's still in between the message box, so that's nice. Then the media section is put on 400 and the details section put on 200, and I also decreased the gap, and that's what you get here. So I'm going to adjust this in the code itself because that's way easier. You can also put it in GPT. So this looks almost like the website itself, so that's great actually. So let's check. Yeah, it's like similar. Okay, cool. So what I already noticed is, okay, of course, these boxes, but I didn't put these one in my Shopify store. So yeah, we're not going to have those. I noticed the styling over here is not correct, and I like to add something similar than this one. Okay, so what I did now is I explained what I want with the button over here, but in the meantime, when I was like explaining, I thought I didn't explain it correctly, so I basically adjusted it because I thought there was a whole button, but when I hover over it, the only part of a button is this one. This is not a button. Maybe if you click this it will, but yeah, this is like actually the hover effect, and that's basically what I want for now. So I re-explained myself, and I also said that I changed the code myself. So I will be copying this one and paste it in here, so it knows that it needs to adjust my other thing. And don't mind my sleeping bird over here, so he's nice and cozy. Just like we are creating this extension, he's unbothered. So okay, now it added the button, well, and it changed the layout again. It shouldn't be unexpected, so let's see what we can do with some styling and see if we can make it a little bit like the example. When moving around with this, the button is getting a little bit cut off. So to make this bigger, the whole box of the content should be bigger, or this should be a smaller like font. So I'm going to ask this to GPT how to fix this one, because that will be way easier than figure it out myself. Let's see about the rest of the styling. Okay, so now I have an idea what we can ask for GPT to change, and let's see how we can fix this. But I think this looks already decent. So yeah, we might keep this one and then change the pricing, because the pricing isn't the same at all. Okay, so this looks nice. It's still in the content section, but that's fine for now. You can go to the add me. I thought add me was nice, so yeah, why not? But first let's focus on this one. This is out of place a little bit, so let's go back to the page. Okay, it looked like this. Okay, so now I need to think of a way how to describe this. And if you don't know how to describe it, what you always can do is you can just take a screenshot, go to GPT, paste in the screenshot. I'm in a different chat because I don't want to mix it up, because the Trio Mini doesn't support images. So once you put in images in your Trio chat, you cannot use it. You need a new one, so I don't want it. So I'm going to do this. Then And now I'm going to describe what I want. Okay, so I let them know what I want, and I also told it that I'm going to add the code, and also that I'm going to provide the Shopify data, because this chat, I'm not sure if it knows what to do, so I'm going to provide it. So just to be sure. So this is not exactly what I wanted or expected. I don't know what happened with the button, but the field for the price is what I expect, because that's exactly what I asked. I wanted to show you guys this because even if you can't explain what you want, you can just use another different model to combine this and see what the ideas is coming from, and then use this in the other model and combine it. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the 3.0 model, then give it this code and the previous code. Then I say, okay, so in this code we have a different price box, but I want the button from the other code, and then we should have a combined layout design. Okay, this is looking like more like it. Still not 100% correct, but it's getting there. So let's see what we can do about the styling. Okay, so this is more what I had in mind. What we are going to do now is I'm going to add functionality to this add me button. So I want certain products or certain information to be passed through to Voiceflow, so we can create a cart basically. Press this button and it will create like the fake cart I have in my template, and you can go on in the rest of the flow, and you can keep on adding everything inside of the in the agent, and then eventually you'll create like a checkout, and this checkout it contains like every product. Okay, so as you can see down below, the payload will output the product title, the product price, variant ID, and variant title with a quantity of 1. So I just said, okay, when you press this, you have the quantity of 1. So now we're going to put it in Voiceflow. We are back in our Voiceflow workflow. Now we're going to get the data inside of Voiceflow. So for this to do, we are going to go to the JavaScript block. Okay, connect it. Then we need to think of a variable. So let's see. This is the variable we need to get. So, okay. And we are doing something like this. Then we're going to call the last event. We are now going to check how the payload is called. Okay, it's called complete payload. Okay. Then, like I said, we need the product title. So I will get this one, but make sure to do this in lowercase. Okay, so this should be enough to get the product title. Now we need to make sure, because in the code here, you see there's like the path complete is going to be triggered. And as you can see, we don't have a path complete. So let's add complete. Now we can try it out. So this is the wrong one. Okay, so I created the variable. Now we can publish. Okay, so try it out. It's not working. Okay, so now we're going to debug this. This may be a quicker way. So if you don't know how to do this, just output everything. Input everything, I mean, in GPT. I'm going to ask what's going on. So now you know there is data over here, and yeah, there should be something to get. But if you're not entirely sure, just do it like what I do, and then you might find something or get an idea what it is. And this is the way how I debug things when I'm not entirely sure what's going on. So that's a little tip I can give you. Okay, I was a little bit stupid, I think. Yeah, I let the script have the same name. So in one of my scripts I created earlier, it's called payload. So this is also called payload, and this is also payload. So I wasn't thinking about this. So yeah, well, it happens. And now I know. So now you know. Make sure that this is the one you need to take. So yeah, this another lesson learned. Trying and seeing what happens, and kind of debugging, asking GPT what to do. Yeah, it can give you ideas and how to fix it. But as you can see, now you have like the product title in Voiceflow, so you can use it in your workflow basically. And this means that you can use it to create like the checkout URL, or put it all in a variable and then output it to a database or something. So yeah, this is a very nice way to show the product page or a variant of the product page inside the AI agent. Okay, so now it's going to output like every time the same product. So let's say I'm going to put in some buttons. So we can just click the product we want, and then it should show the product we want. Okay, so now we need to change the extension code. So let's get back to GPT, but this time we are going to copy this one and tell it that we want to add another variable as an input, and then use that variable to show the correct product. So I'm adding the code to the prompt. That's because sometimes GPT, I noticed that it's going to get an older version, and then it didn't change the things we want it to change. So yeah, this is a way I use to make sure that is really going to change the code that I'm pasting in my message. If that's the correct way to do, I don't know, but it's working for me, so that's how I do it. Okay, so now I've added the select product through the payload. Let's try it out. Okay, this is weird. Why wouldn't buttons work? Okay, after trying so many different things, I don't know what happened, but I think there's a bug because one of my agents that is not running in Shopify works. So, or multiple of my agents, but the ones in Shopify, it doesn't. So yeah, I don't want to keep on trying different methods. So as you can see, I tried already different methods. So now it's something to do with the buttons or with carousels loading. For this demo purpose, just use text and then store it inside the variable. So I uploaded it. Now let's check it out. Okay, here we go. Let's say we want to clear away So now we need to make sure that we are typing the correct product title, otherwise it won't work, because yeah, it matches the correct product title, but well, it's what it is. So, and as you can see, it will load this one nicely. Okay, so we are doing add me, and we got the correct product title. So this is a way to incorporate the product page into your flow. Ideally, you wanted to have it in your carousel, and then when people click on show product or show more info, that you are going to show this. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show it at this time, but I hope this will make it clear how this works. And that's it. You've just seen how to build a JavaScript extension for Voiceflow Live from start to finish. I hope this helps you take your Voiceflow project to the next level by creating more advanced and interactive experiences. If you want to check out the extension code, you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.